So I'm Karen McLean. I come from Trinidad and Tobago. I have been living here in the UK for 22 years, and I'm an artist, a multimedia artist, and I work a lot in post-colonial theory. So the theme is Amazing Woman, and I chose to hero Nanny, and she's a Jamaican Maroon. She escaped from slavery, so she's an ex-enslaved woman. They had two Maroon communities in Jamaica. They had the Leeward and the Windward, and she led one. She actually fought and won the English so many times that in the end they decided the only way to win her was to join her. So they actually signed a treaty with her in 1740. Nanny won her conquest with the English through lots of different tactical methods, and one of them was her abeng, or her horn, and they used that horn between themselves to send coded messages. So it was something that the English just could not understand at all. She features in the window with her abeng. They also use their machetes, so they are alternate screen printed images of her on coffee sacks, one with her abeng, one with her machete, and her left hand is in a very determined fist. The sack is synonymous with the woman's body. The sack was the vessel that really carried this bittersweet substance. It carried the commodity of sugar, which was fundamental base of what slavery was all about. It was getting sugar to Europe. Not only that, the Hessian sack is known for its strength and its resilience, and you can carry things in it for years and they don't actually. So it was a perfect metaphor for the exhibition, really, and for the women, you know, their strength. The whole theme is the Jamaican national colors, so the green, yellow, and the black. I've used a lot of flowers because the enslaved women actually used plants. They came with this vast knowledge of plants from Africa, and they used plants as a means of their resistance. They were often sexually assaulted, or they were bred, you know, during slavery, and they found ways to take control of their own bodies. They used plants to have abortions when they felt they didn't want to have children, or to carry out infanticides if they really didn't want their kids to enter into the world of slavery, because every child on the plantation was free labor, and they often denied him that luxury of their babies. It was also very difficult for them mentally, as you can imagine, to, you know, have to wean their children and then literally, you know, let them go. I've just installed an installation at the New Art Gallery, Warsaw, and that installation is about the enslaved woman. You know, history was written by men, for men, about men, and it has only been in recent times, really, that the history of the enslaved woman has really been researched and written about. I got interested in how her body that became the site of oppression really became a site of resistance. Because Nanny existed in the 1700s, so there weren't any cameras and so on in those days. The Jamaica National Park, where there's a sculpture of all their heroes. There's a sculpture there of Nanny, as Jamaicans, you know, I guess, envisage her. And from oral history, what has been handed down, we know that Nanny always had her necklace on. We know that Nanny was, you know, her abeng was a really important part, her head tie. So I guess from all that information handed down from oral history, they were able to compose an image of Nanny. So I took that image. I also did some research on the kind of clothing they would have been wearing on the plantation in the 1700s and the early 1800s. We have such a large Jamaican community in the West Midlands, you know, and I think it's so important actually for young African Caribbean and young Caribbean women who are growing up to have some sort of heroine to, you know, to look up to.